Genesis 22 verse 1. Sometime later God tested Abraham. He said to him, Abraham. Here I am, he replied. God tests Abraham's faith. Genesis 22 verse 2. Then God said, Take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, and go to the region of Moriah. God commands Abraham to sacrifice Isaac. Genesis 22 verse 3. Early the next morning Abraham got up and loaded his donkey. Abraham obeys God without delay. Genesis 22 verse 4. On the third day, Abraham looked up and saw the place in the distance. The journey to Mount Moriah takes 3 days. Genesis 22 verse 5. He said to his servants, Stay here. We will worship, and then we will come back to you. Abraham expresses trust in God. Genesis 22 verse 6. Abraham took the wood for the burnt offering and placed it on his son Isaac. Isaac carries the wood for the offering. Genesis 22 verse 7. Isaac spoke up. The fire and wood are here, Isaac said. But where is the lamb? Isaac questions the absence of a sacrifice. Genesis 22 verse 8. Abraham answered, God himself will provide the lamb for the burnt offering. Abraham demonstrates faith in God's provision. Genesis 22 verse 9. When they reached the place God had told him about, Abraham built an altar. Abraham prepares to obey God's command. Genesis 22 verse 10. Then he reached out his hand and took the knife to slay his son. Abraham prepares to sacrifice Isaac. Genesis 22 verse 11. But the angel of the Lord called out to him from heaven, Abraham. Abraham. God intervenes at the critical moment. Genesis 22 verse 12. Do not lay a hand on the boy, he said. Now I know that you fear God. God acknowledges Abraham's faith and obedience. Genesis 22 verse 13. Abraham looked up, and there in a thicket he saw a ram caught by its horns. God provides a substitute sacrifice. Genesis 22 verse 14. So Abraham called that place the Lord will provide. The site is named Jehovah-Jireh, commemorating God's provision. Genesis 22 verse 15. The angel of the Lord called to Abraham from heaven a second time. God reaffirms his promise to Abraham. Genesis 22 verse 16. I swear by myself, declares the Lord, that because you have done this, God blesses Abraham for his obedience. Genesis 22 verse 17. I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. God promises Abraham countless descendants. Genesis 22 verse 18. And through your offspring all nations on earth will be blessed. God declares Abraham's lineage will bless the world. Genesis 22 verse 19. Then Abraham returned to his servants, and they set off together for Beersheba. Abraham and Isaac returned safely. Genesis 22 verse 20. Sometime later Abraham was told, Milcah is also a mother. She has borne sons to your brother Nahor. News of Nahor's family reaches Abraham. Genesis 22 verse 21. Uzi the firstborn, Buz his brother, Kemuel, the father of Aram. The genealogy of Nahor's children begins. Genesis 22 verse 22. Kest, Hazo, Pildash, Jidlaph and Bethuel. Nahor's descendants are listed. Genesis 22 verse 23. Bethuel became the father of Rebekah. Milcah bore these 8 sons to Abraham's brother Nahor. Rebekah's lineage is introduced. Genesis 22 verse 24. His concubine, whose name was Reumah, also had sons, Tebah, Gaham, Tahash and Makkah. Additional children of Nahor are mentioned.